Hey guys, this is GamerCat. Welcome to another Touhou Puppet Dance Performance Netplay video. This time it's actually not involving me though, because, well, I kind of want to do some experimental stuff with this, and one of those experimental things is games that do not involve me. Replays are very small file size wise, super easy to send to people, super easy to put on, sharing sites and stuff as well, which would be pretty good. And yeah, this is a really nice way of basically showing some different perspectives, because whilst it's nice having your own games and stuff on, the site and everything, on videos and all of that fun jazz, there are a lot of other perspectives that are pretty good to see games from, and you can always, of course, critique the games and see, what worked, what didn't work, what could have been played better, all of that fun stuff, as well as seeing some really cool new things that I probably wouldn't use. And you can see one or two of them on the right hand side here. So we're trying out a new overlay thing. This is going to take a ton of editing work compared to the zero editing that I've done previously stuff, but I think the overall experience should work really nicely. Let me know what you think after the video and whatnot. I personally think this is going to be really cool, but I would be interested to hear how things should be different, or what you would rather see when it comes to this stuff. But you can at the very least see which puppets are in play, and one of them on Ross's side is Rika. And I would probably never actually use Rika because I wouldn't really have the balls to do so, but Ross is very experimental if nothing else. So yeah, Rika is super weird and absolutely brilliant at the same time, if you can actually get an attack off, but we'll see how she does during the game. Other highlights here, of course, you've got Kawakuma, who is, if I remember it rightly, an assist type, as she should be, because honestly, power Kawakuma, I think it's power, is it power or defense? I think it's actually defense Kawakuma. It's not as good as assist, I'll tell you that much right now. Assist Kawakuma with the curse return and bind trap is super good. Obviously, Mamizo, Shiki, and Marasa are a pretty decent defensive setup here. They've all got very different types and cover some pretty unique stuff there. Kyoko, even not Kokoro is not involved in this. Kyoko is really strong if she can get a hit off, which is interesting. And the Orin is a power type, which has speed boost, and speed boost is kind of cool for negating the bind trap. So that's an interesting thing to remember. Otherwise, some generally interesting things on Ross's side and generally powerful things with Source, but hey, anyone can win with anything in this game. That's what's kinda cool. So let's show off the match here, and we shall get into stuff. And I should note, the battle backgrounds and stuff are random every time you go through. You can choose the music, but you can't choose the background, so whatever. Anyway, Assist Chen is basically Dugtrio. Not super powerful, but really fast, and has Arena Trap, but it doesn't affect wind types instead of not affecting Earth. So Kawakuma can't switch out here, and I'm assuming this is a Specs Chen, because that's probably the best way to run it, to be honest. And Kawakuma's really good spread defense kind of stopped her from just getting the one-shots there. Also, the fact that she switched out here rather than using lightning speed kind of indicates the choice item to me, so there is that. Anyway, Marasa defense stuff, I didn't get to use it too well, but it should do some decent work here, because poison heal and very good tanky stats in general, on the physical spectrum at the very least. But Star always carries power drain, because it's the only thing she really has against water types, but she has nothing against Mamizo. Mamizo, defense-wise, is nature and illusion. When those two typings together resist light, water, and nature, which is basically all that Star does. And it also resists dark, just in case you're using Changeling. So yeah, not a whole lot that can be done about that, but Orin coming in doesn't really appreciate the poison too much, but she is ultra fragile anyway. Interesting to see the food rations coming from her as a result of that. Auron tends to die very quickly because she only has about 50 defense and spread defense and only 70 base HP, so honestly not gonna survive too much, but the resistances are very good against a defensive Mamizo here. Also interesting to see both Protect and Fermit for heavy burning, and yeah, 2 non-attacking moves on a normally very heavily attacking character. Fun to see, but it's good against sneaking, which is the Sucker Punch equivalent. That's kind of awesome to see. But Lily's not a very good matchup against Mamizo either, and Fairy Dance is an odd move to be considering here, mostly because we just saw Whirlwind, so I don't know quite how you would set up against Mamizo at this point, but hey, all power for trying, right? I guess if you had, I don't know if you have a fire attack possible with Lily, I forget her coverage. She's part Void, so her coverage is really quite strong, but didn't really get to do too much of it here. She couldn't use the auto heal because of the poison, so that's kind of a thing. Also, here, I guess, is definitely something you want matched up against Mamizo. Mamizo being a part nature type is weak against steel. Rika, apart from just having the strongest specialist spread attack stat in the entire game, also has a steel version of Pixelate, or Aerialate, or any of the other ones you want there. So this Danmaku Jig, which is Thrash in the Pokemon games, is actually a massively powerful steel type. I think Shiki's like fully invested in spread defense or something as well, and that just decimated her. Absolutely wrecked. Unfortunately, being locked in this turn means that Flandre is just going to be able to Inferno and take him out. Thankfully she didn't miss. And yeah, Rika is both very slow and very fragile, so you have to be very ultra careful even with stuff that way. However, Flandre is usually Choice Scarfed, and Chen, being an Earth type, resists fire, so she can take even the massively powerful Flandre's hits here, and Waves of Earth will take her out, because of course Flandre couldn't switch, she was locked in by Adverse Wind. So yeah, pick and choose your battles with Chen and you will do very well with her. That is the main way to see use with her here. So, here's an interesting thing. Marasa's already spread focus defense heavy, but Shadow Power is bulk up, and that's an interesting thing to see from the defense version. Both defense and power Marasas get access to that move, but I would normally have associated it more with the focus one, which is kind of cool. Also, we saw earlier that Stars got the Straw Dolls for this team, which is an interesting choice as well, because normally you would think Star's bulk is more important than, you know, draining her health with the damage and stuff. But that's what's fun about this, like everybody gets their own choices as to what they want to use, and sometimes it works. Like I would have possibly put it elsewhere, like maybe on Auron, maybe there's an item switch up or something there, but hey, if it works for you, it works, and that is how it goes. So Auron kind of resists everything that Mamizo can do here, because Mamizo only has 2 attacks. She has Power Drain and she has Sneaking. Never resists Illusion, and Nature is resisted by Fire. So Auron actually does very well despite her weak defenses here, because let's face it, Defense Mamizo, well, it's 110, but 110's focus attack, but it's going to be uninvested, so she isn't going to get too much damage off there, which is a bit of a shame. But it's enough to kind of put Auron in a rather precarious state, and here comes one of the cool ones here. This is one I want to try out. Tojiko is very limited as to what types of moves she can use, but she has Morale Booster for Moxie, and that doesn't actually matter here because you get switched out by Changeling. I probably would have just used Force Hammer there just to keep the +1 attack, but that's just me. And yeah, she has access to some pretty powerful attacks, but she's incredibly fragile, and most of her attacks kind of just recoil herself, which is a bit annoying. But she does have about 100, I think it's 135 base speed. It's either 130 or 135. She's incredibly fast, so she can spiral out of control like really quickly, which is interesting to say the least. Anyway, Lily being a nature type kind of just takes out Marasa, which is fine because Tojiko is the win condition here, so even that's at neutral speed at the moment, if Lily was +1, I think she would have outsped there, so something to keep in mind. This form of Tojiko is pure electric, so she doesn't actually have too many resistances to play off of here, but at +1 attack, Power Kyoko really isn't going to be able to do anything there. She does have a ton of HP though, Kyoko, so recoil was really heavy there. That's the problem with using stuff like Luminous Flux and Force Hammer. But yeah, in a previous game between these two, I did note that Source didn't actually realize the Earth typing on Chen, so Force Hammer was used in a previous match, but of course lessons have been learned since then, so the light attack is what's needed there, and Star is neutral towards electric. Light actually does resist electric, but at this point in the game, that's going to be enough. I actually would have used Changeling there, probably, because even though you do actually win in this situation because the opponent died before you, I personally would have just played it safe. And, like +3 or whatever it was, Changeling with Tojiko's attack should have taken out Star anyway, so that's just me. It's a win regardless because, like I said, the opponent died first, and I guess it makes it more exciting that way. But yeah, I guess the Changeling is not as powerful even with super effective stuff though, so I can understand why you would do it that way. But hey, that's just me in a nutshell. So hopefully, like I said, you guys have enjoyed this. Let me know what you think of the layout and the potential for showing other people's games. You can actually send stuff to me that way. I'm trying to think how the best way of doing that would be, but I'm sure there are ways that people could send me replays if they really wanted to. And yeah, we can sort something out that way, I guess. If you have some really good replays yourself that I could take a look at, I might not end up recording them, but if I do, then I can have your name on the side and it'd be awesome. So this has been Game Cow showing off a replay in Touhou Puppet Dance Performance from two of my friends, and until next time, take care.